Building funnels shouldn't cost thousands and take weeks. What if I told you there is a way to build React-based funnels for free using n8n? In my last video, I show you how to automate Google Slides presentations with n8n and AI. Today, I'm taking automation further with something every digital agency and entrepreneur needs: funnels. Traditional funnel builders cost between $100 and $300 a month. Development cycles take weeks to deploy. You are logged into proprietary platforms, limited customization options, and zero code ownership or control. I was tired of paying these monthly fees and wanted full control over my funnels. What if I could build React-based funnels, host them for free, use them for digital product and client projects? Our ideal solution is a visual n8n interface, open source, drag and drop funnel builder, React-based for modern web standards, free to use and deploy everywhere, full code ownership and customization, integration with existing n8n workflows. That's exactly what I built, and I'm about to show you how to do it and how it works. Let me show you my custom n8n node in action. I built these nodes to teach myself how to use n8n properly. I'm going to build a complete funnel workflow right now. So we start with our new workflow on n8n. I'm going to add the node for funnels. This is the node that I created, so it's a funnel box. We're going to click on it and let's add it to the workflow. So it's going to ask me what kind of block I want to add. Before I show you the kind of blocks, let's talk about what is the meaning of this. What are blocks? Blocks are just the sections on a funnel. I just have here an example of a funnel that I created for a client, and this was a JSON defined React page. That's why we can create it with n8n. So it's just defined with JSON. Let's see the JSON for this funnel. So it's this space clearing that. This is the website for space clearing for my client. This is the structure. So if we notice, let's go to the Figma page. All of these sections, I just gave them a name because they end up repeating. We're going to see. So we have here this head logo. It's just a banner with a logo in the middle. Here, this section offer is what I call banner. And this banner has a background. In the background is an image, and it has a title, subtitles, and a button. So we're gonna see it in a moment. This is a YouTube section with a YouTube link. This opt-in in our funnel is exactly the same structure. If we notice, it's a background image, a title, a subtitle, and a button. So we can define it as the same module. We come back here to the problem. What problem are we trying to solve with the funnel, with our product? And we see that it's the same. It's just that it doesn't have a background and it doesn't have a call to action button, but it's the same title and a subtitle. Here we come to a new kind of content. So we see that this one is for the problem, to define the problem, but this is like a content section where I have an image on one side and an explanation and a call to action in other. Here we see the same module that we saw before, just a title and a subtitle with a background on a color. And here we see the content that it was the same that it was happening here, that the only difference is that if you see here, the image was on the right, here we see the image on the left, the text is on the left, the text is on the right. Here we have a call to action, here there's no call to action. But that is representing what our solution on our funnel. We have here the benefit section, and the same, we have another section content. So all of this can be expressed, and the FAQ, again another content section with a banner. Now we have another new section. This is like a carousel, put our testimonials. So these testimonials will be rotating. That's a new section, and here we have the same banner section. We have a new section that is just like a grid or a list of elements. So that is the authority section. Alright, so to automate this funnel and create it with our no-code tool, I built this node funnel box where you can select what section of your landing page. So let's say we want the logo, so that's a header logo and it has a background color. We have a picker there, but okay, doesn't matter. Let's use that color. And now here for the logo URL, let's see at the example that we have. This is the URL for my image on my CDN. I put it here on my logo URL and come back. So now if we want to test it, we can add another block, this one to deploy. This one will deploy to the website and create the React representation. So let's add it to the workflow. That is the path now for my React project and the URL of the host that my site is running. Alright, so let's try that. Let's execute it. Good. So it's the funnel page showing only the image. That is exactly what we created. So let's continue creating the website. I disconnected there. Now let's see again the diagram. We had this logo. Now we have a banner. So let's go ahead and have the banner. Let's add the banner. Another node, and let's say it's another funnel box. And let's add this funnel box. Okay, let's just get it out of the way. And another thing, if we want to visualize this flowing like a funnel, let's go from top to bottom, plug this deploy later. Okay, so let's check our funnel box. This one, before we had the header logo. Now let's add the content. Now let's add a banner funnel box. So we have title and subtitle. I'm just going to copy paste from this text, but we are going to automate this further and have a chat with an agent so we can create our funnel or import it from an Excel sheet. Alright, and the subtitle. Cool. So now I have that. We can check again how it runs. So let's connect this funnel deploy, for example. Just went yellow because it didn't run yet. So now we have our header logo and the feature banner. Let's deploy that. Cool. We have the header logo and the feature banner. One of the things here is that, as we see, our feature banner doesn't have the URL for the background and the call to action. So let's go ahead and create it, and something is happening with the break line. So let's modify the n8n node on the file that we have for our custom nodes. Let's say add for, what type was that? That is a feature banner. So add for feature banner background image and CTA button, like the JSON to create that page. Image and CTA and title are not mandatory. Let's execute that. It seems that it's finished now. So I have a little script here to rebuild the node, and now here I have another little script to run n8n on debug mode and get some console logs out of the nodes. Let's check our node. So let's refresh. That's the thing, we need to refresh this mode. I need to figure out how not to refresh. I think it can be done, but anyway, we have the header logo, and now let's add again a URL for that. Let's add the banner image, the banner node, and now let's add the banner component. So another funnel box, let's add it, and this one is a banner, and we see that now it has included title, subtitle, the image, and the call to action text and the call to action trigger. So let's go ahead and enter that. So for the moment as well, we are entering one by one block at the time. We can have also an agent creating these blocks, and also we can create the pages from Excel. Let's enter the data for this guy. So this is the offer. This is the section offer. I should add also some JSON object to say what section it is, because it's the offer, it's important to know what section we are on. So let's take this title and let's say title, that, and subtitle. The background image is the image on my CDN. if you want to have your image be accessible everywhere around the world and be also cheap, I recommend Bonnie CDN, the cheapest and the best CDN for the price. Now let's add the CTA text and then the button action. The button action will be alert CTA click, and I think we need on click as well, but update that later when we connect the actions, because the actions need to be connected and we also have to deal with how to connect the actions. That means some actions are going to get a booking happening, some actions are going to get a freebie happening that will let your users enter an email to get a free book or a free offer in exchange for the email, and start the funnel and start selling your value ladder from there. Let's say back to Canvas. Now we have our funnel box, our header, and we have the feature logo. So we have the feature with the image and everything. If we want, we can do a test to deploy this and see how it is. So we say funnel box, funnel deploy. Let's say funnel deploy, and let's add it to the workflow. Again, it's okay, pre-configured. All right, let's execute the workflow, and we see that it created the new page with just some wrong colors, like this banner color and this color and this color. So let's update those colors. For example, on our feature banner text color, let's say white, so we can choose it here. Okay, that's it. It becomes orange because we did a change. So let's execute. Now we see that the font is white. Also, the font should have some border. So we have another value on the JSON. The border should have some border, so let's add it as well. Also, for what kind of content was that? Feature banner. Add property, text outline with a drop down, and default is true. So we execute that. Cool. Now we have an outline. So the same. Let's execute here our rebuild dev node. Let's run n8n again. We have to refresh. I need to fix this so I don't have to refresh every time. But let's say after our header logo, let's say I will put another funnel box, and this funnel box will be a banner. Let's add here again the information for that. So it's a banner with title and subtitle. Okay, text color, let's say white, and we have an image. CTA button action. CTA button action. We have the CTA text and we have the outline. So the outline is default to yes. And now let's fill up the things. CTA text, book your call. And we have an image. That's good. Let's go back to have the changes saved. And now let's execute this. Of course, it's executing, but we are not seeing anything because it's not connected to the deploy. We can see here the output anyway. There is the JSON for the output, but let's connect the deploy. So let's put our block to deploy, pre-configure, and execute workflow. Beautiful. So it opened now the new section. We see that I didn't add a logo, and it has this very strong purple color. But here we have the title now with the outline and the subtitle, and we have the call to action. Next one is we could build this funnel by hand, section by section, but let's automate because I have this JSON here with the whole website. So we could automate another workflow that creates a workflow with the JSON that we can feed it from this JSON file, and we can reuse it later to create our importer from Excel and the creator of funnels with the agent. It will be just another tool for the node. So let's create another node that imports this JSON so I don't have to repeat myself, and I show you guys how to work the code to create this kind of agents. Again, this can be open source. If you are interested on it, just let me know in the school course and I can make all of this available to you and have courses teaching you guys how to create these tools. Good. Now we have our node creating the funnel. Let's automate a little bit more then and have another block that will create workflows with JSON for the course. Let's go ahead and create that. Then it will be very easy to have a mapper that changes from Excel CSV to our JSON or from the agent. I have a couple of my blocks here. So we have the funnel box, the one that we've been using. We have this page mock. This one is to have just mock data, very similar to what we are going to do actually. But this one does the creation of this whole website. So we have this one, funnel page mock data. Let's go ahead and use that one. Inserts the big JSON with my page. So before anything, let's save this guy. And now let's create a new workflow. Let's start the trigger manually. Now let's have the funnel with mock data. Nice. And now let's have the funnel to deploy. Cool. So this one is just going to create our React page with fake data and deploy it to our local host. Let's go ahead and execute that. And here it is. Now we can see it with all the modules, with the video, the background. So here, this is our dynamic site, all the links and all the sections for our landing page. So I want to invite you guys to check it out on the school course. So once all of this is integrated, it will be really fast for you to build your funnels. The output is clean React code that you own and deploy on any hosting. I will teach you how to deploy it for free on Firebase, and how to integrate all of these functions on Firebase as well with other n8n nodes, so they end up being no-code solutions. I can show you how they work, but they can be used also as no-code tools. So next is the Excel sheet importer. To import bulk funnel creation. Also, I will show you how to integrate an AI agent creates funnels for you. Imagine saying create a software as a service landing page for a project management software and watching it build automatically. And you can build that and more tools to automate your agency and to sell as products on my Vibe coding community. If you want access to these custom n8n nodes and build and learn how to create your own tools like this, join my school community. Ask me directly in the group for this automation. Learn how to sell automations for your AI agency. I'll take you step by step through building your own digital agency tools. This was just the first on a series of tools I will be building. Like this video if it helped you. Subscribe for more automation tutorials. Hit the bell for notifications. Stop paying monthly fees for funnel builders. Start building your own tools and charging clients for them instead. I'll see you in the community.